What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about a wide receiver press release quiz where we're going to walk you through 3 different scenarios, 3 different routes, and what press release you guys should choose against a specific defensive coverage, okay? So how this video is going to work is I'm going to show you guys a clip like so. I'm going to show you a couple different scenarios with a press coverage DB, maybe at a different leverage, different alignment, whatever it may be, and you guys are going to have to think about what press release you guys should use on a specific given route, okay? So how you guys are going to get better at this video is I'm going to explain the situation. So for this first route, we're going to be running a corner route versus this outside shade press coverage DB, and what press release should you guys choose? So what I'm going to do, I just gave you the situation. You guys are going to pause the clip, think about what you guys want to do, then play the clip, and I'm going to break down what the wide receiver should be doing in this case, okay? So that's how we're going to get better, and that's how I want you guys to approach this. So I have an outside shade coverage DB, and I have to run a corner route. So now you guys can pause the video, then think about it, and then I'm going to get into the explanation now. So if I have to run this corner route and I have an outside shade guy, why is the DB outside shade? He's outside shade because he's trying to force me to the inside, right? Maybe my split's cut down like it is, and that DB's thinking I'm running an outside breaking route, and he has safety help to the inside. He's utilizing the safety help. Maybe it's like cover 1, maybe it's like 2-man, whatever it is, but he's outside shade. So my release that I should go with should attack him to the outside and try to keep him to the outside. I do not want to force the outside release, right? I do not want to think, oh, it's an outside breaking route like a corner route, so I got to make sure I get to the outside. So I'm going to give him a move inside, then try to get to the outside, restack. It's not going to work. Disciplined DB is going to stay outside leverage. His goal is to protect the outside. He has no help over here, so his goal is to force you inside. So as a receiver, I should take what he gives me. So I'm going to play this clip full speed. So what the wide receiver goes with is a split release, right? So a split release is a great release to use in this situation because that will allow you to take the inside release and utilize all that field towards the sideline, right? So let's break this thing down after we watch it full speed. So we could have used a wide step release. I could have used like a triple step release, something that attacks to the outside, but this wide receiver uses a split release, right? So that split release, what that can serve to do is freeze the DB. We split, we give that little hesitation. I'm bringing that back foot up even with my front foot. I'm in a good pad level. That can freeze that DB. That gets him thinking, oh, what's he going to do? Is he going to take the inside release? He's going to go outside. And then when I get him to kind of stop his feet like so and be flat-footed, that allows me to take the inside release. So main thing is give him something that's going to threaten him outside or stop his feet. Take what he gives me, which is the inside release, so I can restack and keep the space to the sideline that the quarterback has to throw me open, okay? So that's the press release that you guys could use on a corner route versus an outside shade coverage DB. Great job hitting the split. Great job restacking, dipping that shoulder, and then using that rocker step at the top of that route. But also, fellas, one other thing I want to talk to you guys about before we get into the second question of this quiz. We are going to be traveling to 8 different states this remainder of the offseason for a quarterback, wide receiver, and DB training camp series. So we're going to be coming out to Houston, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, and Los Angeles, California. Fellas, we just got back from Tampa, Florida. It was a great turnout for that camp, so if you guys attended, we really appreciate it. But it's going to be a 2-day long camp. We're going to have limited spots to only 10 to 12 guys per position group, per age group. So it's going to be a lot of detailed one-on-one coaching for 2 days. We're going to be doing position-specific drills, training techniques, and we're going to be doing one-on-ones and half-line periods. So if you guys are local to one of those 8 cities that I just listed, would like to come out and get some great working with me and my staff, check out that very first link in that description below, fellas. We would love to have you out. Spots are limited because we actually want to take the time to coach you and develop you. So again, very first link in that description below. Let's get back to this video. So now, next route is going to be this route right here. So I'm going to explain the situation, then you guys can pause the video. So I have a DB who's in a catch technique, inside shade, about 2 to 3 yards off, and I have to run a slant route, okay? So now's the time to pause the video, think about what press release you guys could use in this situation, and then we'll talk about it, okay? So you guys can pause the video. Now I'm going to get into the explanation, all right? So now I have an inside shade guy, right? But now he's not pressed up right on that line of scrimmage. He's got about 2 to 3 yards off, and I have to run a slant. So again, very similar to the clip we just talked about with the DB who's outside leverage. He's inside leverage. So what's his goal? His goal is to force me to the sideline. You always want to think of press releases like, where's the DB's help? He's either going to have safety help or he's going to have help to the sideline, right? His goal is either to force me to the sideline, close down the space that I have to operate, or his goal is to force me inside where he has help and close down the space I have to operate, right? So if I have to run an inside breaking route like a slant and he's inside shade, I'm probably not going to be able to attack his leverage, make a move to the inside unless he's not a very good DB. A disciplined DB won't let me do that. So since he's in this catch technique, I want to make sure that I close some space with him, maybe give a little hesitation, and then attack hard to the outside, attack his outside shoulder on a diamond release to get his hips to flip vertical, and then I can slip back under. So I'm going to play at full speed because that's what that receiver does. So he hesitates, takes off to the outside, breaks this thing off, and catches this slant route. That's perfect execution right there. So why would I say, hey, either you want to attack his leverage or give a hesitation move? Why wouldn't we just go straight to the outside on that diamond release, get him to turn his hips and then go? Because he's in catch technique. He's about 2 to 3 yards off. So if I just take off right away, I'm leaving too much space between me and that DB for him to be able to recover and drive on it. So I have to give him something to close the gap between the two of us. So when I burst back up vertical, he's close enough to where if I make that tight change of direction and slip under, he doesn't have a ton of space to recover. So that's what that wide receiver does. He gives a little hesitation, closes space, and then he bursts off to the outside. And again, when you guys do this diamond release, we got to make sure we're fast, we're in stride, and that's what gets that DB to commit his hips. So that's a perfect example. So again, how would you guys run a slant route versus an inside shade, or what press release would you guys choose versus an inside shade catch technique coverage DB? You close space, hesitate maybe for a second, then burst to the diamond release. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job hesitating, bursting to the outside, and then coming off of this route. Okay, so now last question, fellas, on this quiz is what release would you guys choose if you guys had to run a goal line fade to this back pylon right here and you got this specific coverage from this DB, kind of like 2 to 3 yards way off, way inside shade, but he's on the goal line. Think about that. Mind you, he is on the goal line, all right? So take a second, pause the video, think about what you guys would want to do in this specific situation, and then we'll break it down. So now I'm going to break down what you guys want to do. So first things first, when I have a DB who's inside shade like so, back pylon, that's where I'm trying to get to. Again, it's very similar to what we just talked about, right? So if I got a DB who's inside shade, we always want to think about where his help is. His help is the sideline, right? But I got a ton of space to the sideline. But he's probably thinking, okay, cutting the split down, we're on the goal line, probably going to be running to that back pylon, but he's inside shade because why? He does not have safety help, and he is definitely not going to let you cross his face on the goal line. So as a wide receiver, what release I want to go with here is I want to square this guy up. I want to threaten him to the inside because, again, he does not have help there, so he's going to be over anxious to go to the inside. If you attack his leverage, he'll probably protect his leverage, or he'll sit right where he is simply because he's on the goal line, right? So let's watch this full speed. So Rondale Moore attacks him, squares him up, gives him that move, and uses all that space that he created with his stem, right? So again, like I said, he's on the goal line. He's not going to backpedal. So as a wide receiver, I got to know that I want to attack him. I want to square him up. I want to get to his leverage, attack his leverage because he's going to want to protect the inside, but I don't want to get too close, and I don't want to get too, try to attack him too much because I know he's not going to backpedal. DBs are taught not to backpedal on the goal line. But the main release that you want to use in this situation, attack his leverage. You threaten him to the inside with that move to get him to jump because he will want to protect this inside, no safety help, and use that space for the quarterback to throw you open that you created with that stem. Okay, so that's the main release that you guys want to use. So how would you guys run a goal line fade versus this specific coverage? What press release would you choose? You would use this hesitation hop, double up move to the inside, then go win that race to the back pylon. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job attacking him, giving him that move, and then accelerating back to that back corner. Great route there by Rondale Moore. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys like this format of the video, I always appreciate the feedback, any kind of quiz on any specific topic that you guys would like to see, please don't hesitate to leave that in the comment section below. It's always great hearing from you guys. It's always great hearing your feedback. And again, fellas, if you guys are local to one of the 8 cities that we are going to be traveling for the remainder of this offseason, check out that very first link in the description below. Limited spots because we're actually going to take the time to coach you and develop you. This is not like a regular camp that you've been to before, where it's 100 kids and we're just running you through drills. If you do something wrong, we're going to tell you about it and we're going to tell you how to fix it. So if you guys are local to Houston, Phoenix, Newark, Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, Nashville, and Los Angeles, check out that very first link below. I'll see you guys next time.